part of the Frost cult right here. I know that's right.
Have you met Mendeecees?
No, I don't look familiar to you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Well,
That's interesting.
Whoa.
she worked at the same bar as me, and you have been to both of our bars before.
Well, I came in for liquor, not girls. So I wouldn't recognize y'all.
I would say the same thing if I was you.
Okay. Do you ever had a conversation?
No, nothing besides like, can I get, you know what I'm saying?
okay.
Like, no, I never said it was anything like that.
I wouldn't remember that though.
All I said was that you've been to my bar a couple times. You know, I work at a strip club.
Okay. The conversation we had is I asked for a drink, right?
Right.
That's it. I wouldn't remember that.
All I can do is speak my truth. That's what I've been doing.
All this rumors and stuff that what people saying is not true. This is what I've been saying the whole time. I don't know that girl. I just ordered a drink.
Mendeecees went through Yandy's phone and found receipts, dinner dates, hotel bills, messages from multiple men, and after 20 years of him doing whatever he wanted while she stood beside him through baby mamas, prison, and a marriage that was never legally filed, the man is now crashing out like he got blindsided. He wasn't blindsided, he just never thought she'd stop waiting. To understand why this moment is hitting the way it is, you need the full picture of what Yandy actually put up with to get here. They got together, had their big wedding in 2015, and it came out later that the papers were never filed. She was out here defending this relationship publicly, going head-to-head with his baby mamas, building her brand, holding things together, and she was doing all of that without even being legally his wife. The ceremony happened, the commitment was performed for cameras. The legal reality was something else entirely, and while she was busy protecting the image of this relationship, Mendeecees was not holding up his end. Word got out that he stepped out on her more than once. She chose to look the other way. Rashida style, no questions asked. Because that's what you do when you're committed to something even when the other person isn't matching your energy. But here's what made it worse. Mendeecees wasn't even grateful for that grace. Instead of recognizing what she was giving him, he was out here with complaints. He started talking openly about how frustrated he was that Yandy was traveling for business, that she was building her brands instead of being home. He stopped wearing his wedding ring, he was going out, being seen with other women, and not caring whether she knew or not. And then he sat down and told her directly. The love just wasn't there anymore, that he was only still in this out of respect for the promise they made. He said it to her face, and then seemed genuinely confused when things didn't go back to normal. What Mendeecees thought would happen is that Yandy would hear all of that, get scared, slow down on the businesses, stay home more, and fight to get his attention back. That's the version of Yandy he had mapped out in his head, the one who needed him enough to rearrange herself around his comfort. But that Yandy had already quietly started making a different set of decisions. They reportedly separated in 2025. Both sides described it as a period to assess where things were heading. Mendeecees probably thought that meant she would be home waiting while he decided what he wanted. What it actually meant for Yandy was something closer to a green light. Her former stylist, Bryant Jameson, eventually came out with the details of what was actually going on. According to Jameson, when Yandy took him to London for his birthday, the trip was not really about his birthday, it was cover. She had been seeing a fitness trainer named Michael Aduse and used the birthday trip as a reason to be in London without raising flags back home. When a photo of the group got out, a table with a third menu that clearly belonged to someone else, Jameson's own boyfriend saw it and assumed he was being cheated on. Jameson was stuck explaining that he was not the third person at that table. Yandy was. Jameson put it plainly. He said they went to London so she could be with her guy, and he was used as the excuse to make it look like a friend's trip. When the photo spread, Yandy stayed quiet and let people assume the man with her was connected to Jameson's situation. Anything to keep Mendeecees from putting the pieces together. Michael Aduse himself later posted on his Instagram story and confirmed they had a thing. He kept it low-key, said it was a one-time situation, they both had fun, and that was it. Clean, no drama, no long-term story to it. Just two adults who connected and moved on. What's interesting is that according to sources, Yandy actually wanted this to come out. Not through a press release, not through a sit-down interview, but through the natural leak of it. In the beginning, she was private about the situation because she saw separation as failure. She didn't want to be the one who couldn't hold her family together. So while Mendeecees was doing his thing in Atlanta, she had her situation handled in New York, a city she was already going to constantly for what she called business. Anytime she had a reason to be in New York, she took it. She wasn't hiding from Mendeecees exactly. She just wasn't sharing the full itinerary. But with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta wrapping up and the public chapter of their relationship coming to a natural close, there was no reason to keep maintaining the secret anymore. When Mendeecees got curious and actually looked through her phone, he found what had been there for a while. Messages, plans, evidence of a life she had been building in the spaces he wasn't paying attention to. And that is why he is crashing out now. Not because Yandy did something unforgivable, but because he thought he understood the dynamic, and it turns out he had been reading it completely wrong. He thought he had time. He thought she needed him enough to wait indefinitely while he figured out what he wanted. He thought the love she had shown him for 20 years was going to be there whenever he decided to come back around to it. Here is what he admitted himself in an interview unprompted, which makes it hit even harder. He said the reason he got with Yandy in the first place was because she had business skills, connections, and a work ethic that he recognized. He said he had the money and she had the ambition, and that together they were unstoppable. He said when one person has momentum, the other gets behind them. It's a household thing. He said 2 strong incomes are better than one. That was his explanation for the foundation of their relationship. Not love first, not connection first, utility first. He saw what she brought to the table, and he knew that merging with her would take him further than going alone. And it did. For 20 years, it did. She built brands, she managed businesses, she held the family together publicly, while he created complications privately. She stood by him through situations that would have made a lot of women walk, and she did it without the legal protection of an actual marriage, because the papers were never filed. Twice. 2 separate times they had the opportunity to make it legal, and it did not happen. Now that she has quietly detached, now that she is no longer defending him in public, or putting herself in the middle of his chaos, he is realizing what he actually had. He is buying gifts. He is whispering in her ear. He is trying to remind her of when things were good. But Yandy is not confused about the math here. She knows exactly what she built, what she sacrificed, and what she walked away from. And she is also smart enough to know that because those papers were never filed, she can walk away clean. He cannot come for her assets. He cannot claim half of what she has built. Whatever she has is hers. What his friends are not saying, but what is obvious to anyone paying attention, is that Mendeecees knows this too. He has been in the streets. He has seen what is out there. He has 2 baby mamas and a track record that is not going to make the next woman with Yandy's level of success line up behind him. She was the best situation he was ever going to be in, and he treated it like it would always be available to him regardless of how he moved. She let him think that for a long time. And then she quietly stopped. The New York trips kept happening, the business kept growing, the boyfriend stayed tucked away. And when Mendeecees finally looked up and really looked, the woman he thought was waiting for him had already been somewhere else for a while. Do you think Yandy is completely done this time, or is there still a storyline left in this? Drop it in the comments.